Hello there, you Awakening Wonders. Now, this isn't the usual type of video we make on this channel where we critique, attack and undermine the news in all its corruption, because in this story, I am the news. I've received two extremely disturbing letters, or a letter and an email, one from a mainstream media TV company, one from a newspaper, listing a litany of extremely egregious and aggressive attacks, as well as some pretty stupid stuff like my community festival should be stopped, that I shouldn't be able to attack mainstream media narratives on this channel. But amidst this litany of astonishing, rather baroque attacks are some very serious allegations that I absolutely refute. These allegations pertain to the time when I was working in the mainstream, when I was in the newspapers all the time, when I was in the movies, and as I've written about extensively in my books, I was very, very promiscuous. Now, during that time of promiscuity, the relationships I had were absolutely always consensual. I was always transparent about that then, almost too transparent, and I'm being transparent about it now.
He knew before we ever went on our first date. So when we met initially and he took my number and asked me out on a date, he hadn't asked me, but he didn't know. So I texted him prior to, because he said to me, he knew that I was stalling on agreeing on a date with him. And he said, "Why aren't you?" He said, "What's going on? Like, why don't you want to go out with me?" I said, "Because I've got something to tell you." I said, "I'm 16. And he just replied saying, "Okay, so we're still on for dinner at 7:30.
And how old was he?
He was 30.
Yeah, that's right, Mark. A flurry of developments, significant developments in this story, all in the last hour or so. In the last 10 minutes, the promoters of Russell Brand's stand-up tour, his bipolarisation tour it's called, have taken this decision to cancel all the remaining shows. So his last show was in Wembley on Saturday night after these allegations against him were made. He went to that, and there are pictures of him emerging from that. His next show is due to be here at the Theatre Royal in Windsor, and the venue's management were reportedly in discussions all today, wondering whether or not to cancel this show, whether or not to still be associated with the comedian, and it seems like that decision has been taken out of their hands in the last few moments, as I say, as the promoters of his tour have decided to postpone all the remaining shows. In this short statement, they say, "We are postponing these few remaining addiction charity fundraiser shows. We don't like doing it, but we know you'll understand."
Fast pace story, this big developments this morning, the very latest in the sexual assault allegations against Russell Brand, and in the last few moments YouTube have announced that it has suspended monetisation of his YouTube channel. They say it violates their creator responsibility policy. Meanwhile, the comedian...
What does that mean?
That he can't make money from it. So essentially...
Breaking news in the last sort of 30 minutes or so, the Metropolitan Police, they've been approached by a woman alleging a sexual assault in 2003.
Yes, indeed. They've released a statement, and I can read you some of that now. So a spokesperson for the Met said, "We're aware of reporting by the Sunday Times and Channel 4's dispatches about allegations of sexual offences. On Sunday, the 17th of September, the Met received a report of a sexual assault which was alleged to have taken place in Soho in central London in 2003. Officers are in contact with the woman and will be providing her with support."